Hello, welcome back. Let's pull up my chat box. There we go. Welcome back to Slay the Gray Hobby Hangout. Today, continuing on with painting old Eldrad Ulthran. So last week, did some of the base coats on the cloak, the underside, and some details around here, just a freehand. Now, off camera, I did go back and I cleaned up the center sash here and actually applied a detail, which I think looks much better than the freehand I was attempting there. So we're gonna roll with that. And yeah, so let's jump right back into this. So I think what I need to do next is I'm gonna do some of the Wraithbone detailing and pick out some parts on his armor, and then probably go back and build up some of these gray highlights a little bit more. I think we'll focus on the sword and the staff, and hopefully the base, and hopefully finish them up tonight. But we'll see how far we get. I don't want to rush it. I just want it to be done right. So, yeah, let's jump back into it. So, my name is Sam, and this is Big Nerd Wargaming. I do painting, streaming once a week, and we do many wargaming related videos, so that's battle reports, painting tutorials, terrain crafting, just general discussion, anything and all things miniature wargaming on the channel. Those come out usually once every other week, is the current schedule goal main thing. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Like and subscribe, do all that stuff. Your support really helps, and we appreciate it quite a bit. One other bookkeeping thing: the painting live stream is going to be moving from Monday evening at 7 p.m. Central Time to Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Central Time. So we're just going to be shifting 24 hours going forward, starting next week. I'll update the channel banner with the new schedule, and I'll be sure to be posting in the community tab. So just keep an eye out for that, and you'll see any updates. So also, if I'm not streaming that week, I will be sure to post in the community section of the YouTube page, so you can see that. But yeah, anyways, all right, so let's get back to painting Eldrad. So I think there's a lot of black going on here, so I want to start to separate that a little bit. So we're gonna do some Wraithbone next, I think. And I'm just gonna use Wraithbone, the color. It's a base color. It's very light, and it covers quite well. So we'll give that a good shake. And we'll go right in there with the Wraithbone. So I'm going to get some of this on my palette here. And I'll just set that aside. Clean out my dipper brush. Alright, so I'm going to start with... he's actually got some fine bone detail on his helmet, as well as his shoulder pads, and then also around the chest, and I don't want to mess up and get some on the black, so I will actually... I think I will use a small brush for that. I'm actually just looking at this here. You know what? Instead of starting with the Wraithbone, I'm actually going to do some... No, I'm going to stick with the Wraithbone for now. He's got some other details, and I'm just trying to figure out the order I want to paint them. Usually I like to go inside out or building up, but that's Sometimes not always the case, or easy to do. So I'm just rambling. Don't listen to me. All right, so gonna get some water on my palette here, mix it in with the wraithbone on my palette, get a good, nice, thin consistency, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start painting the wraithbone on this center piece. Now, it may be a little tricky getting on the other side of this, so I'll just kind of do my best. And if I can't get all the way back there, I'm not going to sweat it because you're not going to really see it anyways. So I'm not going to be like one of those people who paints the inside computer and a transport vehicle and then glue the door shut. I know some people do that. I don't understand why, but maybe it's like an OCD thing. I don't know. So this might take 2 coats just to get a nice even application. So I'm not going to worry too much if it's not fully covering initially. And I'm going to get this center piece here. Going to be very careful not to screw up the sash that we've already painted. I will paint the center gem piece wraithbone as well. I'll go back and paint that with a metallic color and then go back and paint the spirit stones their own color. There's gonna be some wraithbone on this pouch. Yeah, we're gonna do wraithbone going up the side here. Again, I'll have to go back and touch this up, I think, because the pouch itself is going to be a brown color. But I'll just, you know, put some wraithbone there as just kind of a reminder. I'll go back and clean that up, and I'll do the same on this pouch over here for his pistol holster. Down here, that's going to be metallic, so I'm not going to worry about that. Clean my brush off real quick. I want paint drying on my brush, and we're going to continue on with the wraithbone. Focusing on the chest piece here. So it's got this like bone ribbing pattern going on here. So I'm going to just focus on that and try not to get paint further back onto his shirt underneath. So moving very carefully here. Good evening, sir. Looking good. Good evening, David. Welcome back. Like I said, we are continuing on with Eldrad. Also, I don't know if you caught my update at the beginning of the stream, but I will be moving streaming days from Monday to Tuesday. Same time, 7 p.m. Starting next week. Just shifting some things around in my personal life. And Tuesdays are more accommodating of that, so we will be doing Tuesday evenings going forward next week for the painting live stream. Until further notice. Alright. And I also cheated and painted over and did a decal there. Off camera. My freehand just wasn't looking good. Tuesday's got it. Awesome. Yeah. I think the decal looks much better. Alright, so just getting that second coat on the ribbing going around his shirt here. And then also on his shoulder blades. Or shoulder pads. And I got some wraithbone in between on his shoulder here, so I'm going to have to go in there and fix that. Oops. Not a mistake. Maybe I can quickly clean this up with water before that dries. Or I can make it worse. No, I think I fixed it. Alright. All good. I'm actually refining the fine amount of water transfers for my sisters. Oh, refining the art of water transfers. Yes. It does take a little getting used to. Getting the decals to behave properly. Oh, that is a hard area to paint for some reason. Just gotta carefully pick out all the wraithbone areas. Yes, what I think I'm going to have to do for the shoulder is go over that with a Nuln Oil wash and darken up those recesses because I am just making a mess of this. I've been looking at the trim of some of the models on the Triumph and they have these little fleur de lis on them, which I know I can't freehand, but the transfer sheets have a bunch of them. Yeah, really elegant details. I usually just use the transfers, you know, like the Ultramarines Omega, not Omega sign. I use the transfers for that. Some people I know prefer to just freehand everything, but that's... nah. If there's a good transfer, I'll use it. Also, like a lot of the Eldar, my built handcraft world has got like a heart shape. That one would be hard to freehand, I think. Yeah, definitely the Adeptus Sororitas symbols I think would be hard. But yeah, getting the decals to kind of form around rounded areas can be tricky. And then you have that glossy sheen afterwards you have to take care of, which you can with some matte varnish. I use the Vallejo airbrush matte varnish, and you can just kind of paint that over with a brush and it'll get rid of that glossy color on the decal and make it blend in with the rest of the model. Wow, this shoulder is just atrocious. I'm just gonna make sure that the wraithbone is covering nicely, and then I'm gonna go and do some surgery with Nuln Oil and try to recover from my mistakes here. Alright, and then we have his helmet. So the helmet, we're gonna do the same thing. Okay. And I may want to switch to a smaller brush, but we'll see. This one's got a nice fine tip to it, so I'll try to use it a little bit longer here. Alright, so coming in, so we have this kind of ribbing on the helmet. So we're going to try to get that. Also coming down by the eyes. It's kind of hard to see because everything's all black right now. Oh, you know what? Not above the eye. That's not supposed to be wristbone. That looks bad actually. I have to go back and fix that with some black. Let me get some black on the palette because I think I'm gonna be needing this. Get some black. We'll get some Corvus black on there too. Corvus black. Also get some Eshin gray. Just fix all those mistakes as they happen, so that way I don't forget about them later when I come back to do some cleanup work. I usually like to take care of this stuff kind of right away. Alright. So let's fix that on the helmet, because that is really bothering me. So I'm going to come in here and just clean that up. And that may be a little too dark, so I'll have to go in there with some Corvus black and then build up that highlight again. But that's not a big deal. Alright, so back to the Wraithbone. I'm going to focus on by the mouth here. Mouth of the mask. It's got like this Egyptian pharaoh kind of chin thingy going on. I'm sure there's a proper name for it somewhere. It's gonna be kind of tricky to get in here with his sword arm in my way, but I'm just gonna carefully, ever so carefully, come through here. Alright. So far so good. And we'll get the eye here. On the bottom edge of the helmet. I've made a mess by the eye as well. It's just not my night. Put some black in there and clean that up. And I'll come back once that dries and try again. I think maybe the Wraithbone got a little too thin there. It's always tricky getting the right consistency of paint. Alright, and then gonna continue along this side of the helmet here. And we're gonna get this piece on the top of the helmet. and around Spirit Stone in the front, and there's a piece coming down center of the forehead off to grab. Wow. It is quite tricky to see all the detail when the whole model is black like that. I suppose I could go for a Zenithal primer and base coat, but then I'd have to still paint over it all black because it's supposed to be black. So, it's just kind of the nature of this model, I guess. Alright, let's try again for the set of his helmet. Much better. Oh, except for I got some on the little bulbous piece on the helmet. Oh, the struggle is real. There we go. Let's fix that real quick. Just gonna come in there with some Corvus Black. And then over here on the helmet, I'm gonna do some Corvus Black. Right, fix my mistake earlier. Okay, I think that looks okay for the Wraithbone. I'm going to switch to a brown leather and start to do that on the pouches here. So I'll start with Rhinox hide, I think. Nice dark brown. Or actually, you know, I'm gonna go with Mournfang brown. And then we'll darken that up with a wash. I think that'll look nice. Got some Mournfang on my palette. It's probably a little too much, but that's what was on the brush. Good choice. Your fans approve. On the Mournfang, it is a good brown. Alright, so we're going to do the pouch here. Leather pouch. I'm just going to paint that Mournfang. I'll have to come back and touch up the Wraithbone. So I really should have started with this, I think. So I could paint inside out, which is more efficient and just overall easier. And we got this pouch up here. That's going to have some gold trim pieces, so won't worry about getting the bottom of that painted fully. And then we also got the straps going across. So painting some of these other details, I'll start to clean up a little bit. Some of that overspill will get painted its proper color. Got this little sack down here. We have this, looks like a pistol holster? Or a shuriken pistol, perhaps? Let's get that brown base coat painted. I'll go back and clean up that wraithbone. That's okay. There we go, much better. We also got some stuff hanging from the staff. I'll go back and do those later though. Okay. So back to Wraithbone to touch that up on the pouches. So just touch up here on this side pouch, get those ribbing touched up, and then along the side here. And over here on the pistol holster, rinse and repeat. Okay. So now I am going to wash the Wraithbone with... Yes, your color choices are pretty well spot on. And then there was music. Thank you. I try to... I feel like I've gotten a lot better at being able to look at the box art or just, you know, something in general and kind of figuring out what colors would be needed to do the similar style or recreate that effect. But yeah, it just, you know, comes with practice and painting and trying out new things, all that good stuff. Alright, so I'm going to use some Seraphim Sepia all over the Wraithbone I just painted. And I'll use a junky, small-ish brush for that, so I can have some precision. Seraphim Sepia is a nice color. It's a little toned down. Agrax Earthshade. It just kind of gives you that definition and subtle change in shade and tone over Wraithbone and other lighter colors. Great for parchment. There's like a couple different parchment recipes I use. One of them, if I'm kind of in a rush, I'll just do Wraithbone over and then Seraphim Sepia. Call it a day. So for like purity seals or other, you know, parchment. The Sisters of Battle have a lot of parchment on their tanks and whatnot. Probably more than Space Marines. They probably also have a lot of candles. Which sound fun and annoying to paint at the same time. Yes, they do. A lot. It's much like the old chestnut wash from back in the green base days. You know, it is a lot like the chestnut wash. I remember I used that a lot on skin on the old Empire fantasy models I had. I used to do the chestnut wash. It's kind of also similar to like the modern Reichland flesh shade or flesh tone. That was a lot like chestnut. Not as many candles as Black Templars. Yeah, Black Templars. They have to one-up everybody on everything. Okay, so that's actually looking pretty good for the Wraithbone. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the leather, real quick. Well, actually, Known Oil, then the Agrax Earthshade. So for the Known Oil, I'm going to just try to clean up my mistakes I made on the shoulders. I haven't spilled my Known Oil yet. I almost just did. I just try to get in between. Oh, it's so hard even with this. In between these Wraithbone rib pieces. Yeah, that shoulder blade, I'm gonna have to go in there and properly fix. Just darken that up a little bit. Use it to shade my Blood Angels. Terraborn Crimsonwood, also probably a good one to shade Blood Angels nowadays. But yeah, Chestnut, Seraphim Sepia, Agrax Earthshade are probably the most versatile shades. You can use them on pretty much anything. And, of course, Known Oil. But yeah, so I'm going to shade the leather real good here. This Agrax shade. Be careful not to get it on the Wraithbone, because we like the way that looks already, but it doesn't need to be any darker. Shade this pistol holster over here. Alright, that's looking good. Well, I guess I can move on to metallic details next. Yeah, we could do some gold and silver. Maybe we'll do that on the body here, and then I'll work my way out to the sword, and then the staff last. Yeah, he's surprisingly got a lot going on. It's kind of deceiving in that way. It doesn't look like it's all that much, but then it looks like you kind of, the more you look at it, the more stuff you see on him. It's just like, wow, okay, that's quite a bit. So, yeah, let's move on to some gold. So for the gold, I'm just looking all around. He's got some arm pieces. He's got some bracelets and hanging gems. Some of the soulstone bases are gold. A little bit on his staff, so I'll probably paint that real quick. And it looks a lot. I think the box art has like that very weathered orangish gold, which you can usually achieve with Retributor armor and Reikland Flesh Shade. So I think I'll start with that, and then we'll probably build up some highlights after that. So we'll do that as a base coat. So I'm gonna give this Retributor armor a good shake. We'll carry on. Retributor armor on the palette. Here we go. We'll use that for starters. And I'll go back to my Reaper miniature brush, size 0. These brushes are quite good, and pretty affordable too. They're about the same price as the Citadel here's one. but are way better quality. Way better quality. Alright, so I'm gonna get this kind of decorative ribbing on this sack. Gold. It's got like this token down here. Some bling. Just get that in gold real quick, and then move on to the arms. So he's got these kind of bangles, maybe you want to call them, go around his arms. Very careful not to get this on anything else. Just gonna take my time and go real slow and smooth. I'm in no hurry for Mr. Ulthran. Oh, got some on his shirt there. Let me just, or his sleeve. Let me quickly wick that away with some water. Retributor armor cleans up pretty easily if you can get it wet enough, quick enough. There we go. I think I got there. While I have my brush kind of clean, I'm going to go ahead and kind of clean up the shoulder so I don't forget about it. Just going on there straight with Corvus Black. And we'll get over here as well. To clean that up just a little bit. Much better. I'll probably go around for like a final pass for some highlights as needed. But it's kind of hard to highlight things fully when all the base coats aren't on yet, because it's kind of hard to get a sense of just how bright things are going to be sometimes. So get these rings on his arm. We also got like some decorations on the sword hilt. So get that gold as well. Oh, he's got so many spirit stones hanging from him. Probably do a combination of red and blue ones. We'll do the guard here on the sword gold. Probably try my hand at some non-metallic metal. That seems to be the thing that the kids are doing these days. So we'll give it a shot. I don't paint non-metallic metal often. Still trying to figure out kind of how to do it properly. But sometimes models like this are a good thing to test on. Get this jewelry hanging from his bracelets. I don't know how you can do anything without this stuff getting caught. I'll probably have to come back around for some details on the sword. We'll get the other side, his other arm here, and then base coat on the upper staff, and then we'll come back to the sword and start doing some more details there. Let's get these other bracelets on the other arm. Some more soul stones, or spirit stones. We'll have to get to eventually. Staff looks pretty good. Yeah, the box art has a staff kind of mostly made out of like a black wraithbone color, which I think looks pretty cool. So I think we're gonna stick with that scheme. And then we also got the spirit stone on his helmet. Trying to get the border of that painted gold. That's the part I actually only really care about. That's gold. Since the stone itself is going to get painted over. I also don't want to get the gold on the black of the helmet either. So I'm being very, very careful. Making sure a brush has a good fine point on it. It's how you can achieve detail painting. And there's a little bit of gold going where it's not supposed to. Let me try to focus this. Why is this not focusing? Here we go. Yeah. It's really coming into its own, but yeah, that front is busy as LA traffic. Yeah. But it looks a lot much better. It looks a lot better than it did before, now that we got some of those details filled in with the pouches, and those are just mostly base coats and just a wash. But yeah, it's really starting to come together there. Just trying to get this camera to behave a little bit better. Hopefully focus and stay focused. It's a sweet spot where it focuses really well, and then not too close, not too far. All that good stuff. All right. Which staff? Which staff? Yeah, this staff. All right. Just gonna paint these details gold real quick, and we'll move on to the rest. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised how involved this model is becoming. I thought it'd be a lot easier. I really did. All right. And then starting from here on up, it's gonna be gold. He's got so many, so much stuff hanging from here. Just gonna try to get the outside. I'm gonna leave the inside middle bit black. Just gonna get the outside border piece here gold. Those sneaky Xenos, man, they'll lie to you. They also don't have cookies. Oh yes, the cookies. Speaking of cookies, got some Girl Scout cookies from my coworker today. It's that time of year. Good stuff. And then continuing on the other side, same story. Just gonna get the outside edge of this triangle. And the rest of the gold. I enjoy Thin Mints and the Samoas. Yes, the Thin Mints are definitely crack. I was saying to my coworker they need to make the sleeves half as big because usually when you crack open a sleeve you just kind of eat the whole thing. Yeah, they're good. They're dangerous. Coming in for a little second pass here on some of this gold work. There's just so much going on here. I want to make sure it's got a good base coat coverage. Let the pyramid dry a little bit more. Or the triangle. Gonna get that bottom edge and then fill in the rest here. All of this has got to be gold. The chat lag is real tonight. Yeah. I don't think there's much I can do about that, unfortunately. Maybe once I upgrade my home internet. They're supposed to be making fiber available in our area soon. So as soon as that is, I'm going to be upgrading to the fiber, which should like triple our speeds. It'll be glorious. And hopefully the chat lag will go away. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna have to deal with it, I think. Alright. Oh, I guess there's some gold on the spirit stones in the front here. Oh, I almost used all of this gold I put on my palette. It's rare, usually a lot of it goes to waste. Alright, and then we're gonna get this spirit stone in the front, and the spirit stone on the belt. Oh, yeah, we got the belt buckles. Oh, I missed a whole ton of details down here. Spirit stone on the belt. Spirit stone down on the wraith bone. One might say he's a spirited individual. Yeah, some gold on the pouch there. Okay, and some gold on the pistol. Pistol handle. His holster. All right. Gold is laid. Oh, what am I doing over here? Let me just get that painted gold as well. There we go. Okay. I have to come back to the sword for some of the details, but we can start doing the non-metallic metal. That fancy thing that people like to do. Oh, let's try some rust gray. And some Thunderhawk blue. I'm just going to put some paints on my palette and start kind of figuring out how this is going to work. We do got to get light at some point. I think maybe, okay, so to build up from here. So we got Thunderhawk, we got Rust Gray, Celestia Gray, kind of a cool bluish gray color. Yep, I like where that's going. And then something real light. Ulthran Gray. And I think just some white star for some highlights. Oh, maybe I can bring in some Stormhull Silver for some other highlights on the edge. That could look cool. Could definitely look cool. Bring some metallic into this non-metallic metal. Counterintuitive, I know. And we'll do some white scar. I might totally crash and burn at this, but we'll see. And then I think, so I'm gonna grab some Corvus Black. And mix it in with some of this Thunderhawk blue. Get this kind of like cool gray, cool bluish gray going on here. And we're gonna start okay, so I want I think I'm just gonna have to go over the whole sword with this first. This will be like our darkest color. Maybe I'll go a little bit darker, but we got like this very dark, cool, bluish gray. The mixology begins. Yes. I am not a pro at this. I just want to make that very clear. I'm only pretending like I know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I saw this in a YouTube video once. But for real though, I'm not a pro. Let's get some more of this mixture going down here. Wow, I missed a whole ton of spirit stone down here. With the gold. That's okay. We have very high expectations. Yes, as you should. Should expect nothing but the best. He is like the king of the elves after all. Eldrad deserves the best. Alright, I'm going to try to make this camera angle a bit better. Maybe a little bit more focused. How cool would that be? Come on. It like wants to focus on everything but Eldrad. Come on. There we go. It's a bit nicer. Up a little bit. All right. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna pull in some Thunderhawk. And we're gonna start to build up the lightness. So kind of like from here to here. Gotta build that up. And then on the other side, up here, terminating at the center. And then this is going to be light. This is going to be light-ish, I think. And then down here, we're going to make this light. I'll make this corner down here light. That's an Imperium drinking glass? No, it's a Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda drinking glass. It kind of does look like the Imperium though, with the wings. That would be a cool drinking glass to have though, yeah. Alright, so then kind of repeating on this side, we're going to make down the blade here to about there, and over here on this side. And then down over here, these guys. Down over there, roughly. Alright, now I'm going to take the Thunderhawk blue and mix it into the rust gray. And we're going to repeat the process, but start a little bit further down. I'm just painting in thin stripes because I think that might work. I really don't know what I'm doing. And I don't want to go all the way down. I do know that. Down here. Focus on the edges there. And we'll flip around and do the same. It's kind of like each time you're just going a little lighter, and I think the idea is you don't go all the way to the edge of the previous color. You just work your way towards the center until the center gets really light. I'm sure there's like a full explanation breakdown of how to do this properly. I'm going to go back and clean up. Sword up there. I know that yeah, you want it to be clean for sure. So it stays on one side of the blade for that metal effect. Okay, I think so far so good. Now we're gonna go to the pure rust gray. The next color. I'm gonna mix in quite a bit of water because this is gonna be almost like a glaze. So I want this to really blend and be not super opaque. So gonna glaze this on the previous mixture. Liking it. Awesome. I would really like it too if the camera would stay in focus. And I'm just gonna move my way up the blade, being very careful. You know, I said I was gonna finish painting him tonight, and then I was like, oh, I'll make the sword non-metallic metal. So we'll see if I actually finish our elf friend tonight, but we'll see. This kind of stuff is a little tedious and piddly. I never played a Zelda game. Come on, focus. 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 Zelda's great. It's like my childhood. Alright, and then I'm going to take in the Celestia Gray. Mix that in with the Rust Gray. This is actually pretty good consistency, but that Celestia Gray is a base color, so I'm going to make sure this is nice and thin and watery, just so that it's not too opaque. And we'll start again. Working our way up, getting yay far, and stopping. And over here. Over here. And over here. You know, the lighter colors do go a little bit quicker because we're painting less area. This is not Space Marines. You are very correct, Demon Knight. This is Eldrad Ulthran, the King of the Elves. And I'm trying my hand at some crazy non-metallic metal. It's, you know, the craze of people these days. I'm not sure why I'm doing it, but just doing some practice. Alright, then I'm going to take that mixture and we'll mix in some Ulthran gray. Go a little bit lighter. That might almost be too light. Pull some more rust gray in there. And we'll get right in there. Oh, I don't know if you caught the update, Demon Knight, but the Slay the Gray live stream will be happening on Tuesday evenings going forward, starting next week. Alright, and then I think I'm just going to mix in some more Celestia Gray into the mixture, lighten it up just a little bit more. Do one more pass in the center area. And then I think I can start doing some cleanup. Oh, maybe I lied. Maybe one more lighter pass after this. Yeah, I'm liking the way this is turning out so far. It looks better the further away you are from it. Nope, sure, I like that. Seems to cut in the game nights. Yeah. Yeah, that would be problematic otherwise. Alright, one more pass. One more pass. Right in the very center. Alright, non-metallic metal, yay or nay? Does it look cool? Yes. Is it worth the effort? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's get a close-up shot here. I will be cleaning up the center line going down the blade, but this is the general. It's okay. It's okay. It's a little amateur. Alright, so I'm going to take pure Celestia Gray. I'm gonna try to do like an edge highlight on the blade. I was gonna do this with Stormhall Silver, but I think keeping it non-metallic would be best. I'm gonna come down the center of the blade. Just to clean up that line. Oh no! I slipped. I screwed up. I did it bad. I'll just bring in some of my previous colors and my mixtures and touch that up real quick. Okay, crisis averted. This is a very fine brush I have here. The center ridge on the blade is so fine. It is really hard to get. So I'm gonna have to just try to do it long ways. And that looks okay, I guess. Yeah, I'm just having the hardest time getting the right angle in here. Alright, so that's looking a bit better now. The edge highlight on there. Kind of brings the whole effect together. Let's get the other side. I'm gonna try to just get this with the side of my brush. Okay, so far so good. Yep. 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 Ooh, look at that. Highlights, so fine, so thin. There we go. I feel like I should stop before I ruin it. Alright, so it's looking much better, I think, with the highlight up and down the blade. If I can get this camera to focus. There we go. Non-metallic metal. I think it is good enough to continue. Otherwise I'll just screw it up even more. Alright, so now, next up. This gold detail needs to be washed. And then also some more gold on the blade. I'm going to pull out Liberator Gold for the gold on the sword. Just to kind of break up all the gold, or darker gold color. Make things a little bit more interesting, and not all samey. Yeah, just gotta very carefully get this gold on the blade. These runes. Whew. And the other side. Get the spirit stone. There's a spirit stone down here I'm going to get as well. I should paint the other side the same color, just for consistency here. There we go. Alright, that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm going to wash all this gold with Reichland Flesh Shade, just to really darken it up. Start layering on some highlights and details after that. Everywhere I painted all these little gold details, just going to do Reichland Flesh Shade. Real simple. So earlier I was talking about parchment recipes. Another one I use, instead of Wraithbone and Seraphim Sepia, I'll do Ushadi Bone and Reichland Flesh Shade over that for a parchment. And that also will give you a good weathered paper effect. And they're both similar looking yet different, so sometimes I'll use both of those methods on the same model just to kind of, you can get some, I guess, different paper effects on the same model for some variation. You want to kind of break it up a lot, so something with a lot of purity seals and parchment, different methods, kind of give you a more natural, eclectic paper look. And then I'm just going to get all of this gold I did earlier with the Flesh Shade. Get up here on the helmet. Darken that gold up. Ooh, that's gonna look real nice. Sound like gold has been definitely toned down quite a bit. I'm liking the way that's looking. Just gonna let that dry for a little bit. And I think I can move on to some more of this witch staff here. So I think we're gonna do a Wraithbone down the shaft a bit, just to kind of add some more contrast. I'm not quite sure what color the box art has them because I can only see the front. So I think making this light will help it stand out and just add a little bit more visual interest, since he's got a lot of black going on. Sometimes details get lost when everything's all black. And I'm already liking the way this is looking. So I'll leave the bottom nub on the staff black, We'll highlight that with some grays. But this main staff shaft, I think I'm just gonna make light. This will probably take 2 coats. Despite Wraithbone being an excellent color for base coats, it has good coverage normally. But going over black with such a light color is still a bit of a challenge. Speaking of challenge, getting down on this side of the staff is a bit of a challenge. So I don't want to get it on the black cloak. And also in the palm of his hand. There we go. It's coming along. Underside of the staff, so you can't see any black on it from any angle. Which is almost complete. All right. Going over with a second pass, make sure the nice even coat. That's looking good. I like that. All right. Next, I got these nice blue colors out here, so I'm going to do this thing on his witch staff. I'm gonna actually do Thunderhawk Blue everywhere to start. I can always make this darker if I need to with a wash, but I don't think I will. We'll see. We'll see. Adjust the camera a little bit here. Hopefully get it to focus better. I'm gonna need some more Thunderhawk Blue, I think. Thunderhawk Blue. Water that down a little bit. Paint the whole inside of this witch staff. There's like a face with like some rays of power coming out from behind it. kind of interesting. So then once this dries, I think all I'm going to do is layer on some lighter color, like maybe Celestia Gray, and then go over that with a wash. I'm thinking a dark blue wash, Leviathan blue, and then kind of go back and build up the highlights again, the lighter areas again. Should be a quick, nice, easy effect for that. While that's drying, I'm going to take a small brush and start to build up some highlights on the staff where there's the black, with this Eshin Gray that's been sitting on my palette waiting to be used. So just gonna start to build up Eshin Gray along the edges here. I have to come back in with a lighter gray after this. Just trying to build this up a little bit because if something's black, you don't want to leave it truly black. A lot of things are shades of gray as the light, you know, reflects off of stuff. So by adding some grays in there, you can make the black look a little bit more interesting, a little more realistic, give some more life, yada yada yada, all that good stuff. I'm not worrying about being too neat with this dark gray highlight, so I'm going to come in with something a little bit lighter, and that I'll be a little bit more neat with. And, you know, working up the gradient, it'll all come together and it'll pop and it'll look great. It's already looking much better. I'm going to do some Mornfang brown on those leather straps. Up there. This might be almost ready to start layering, so I'm going to do Celestia Gray to start with. I see there's a soul stone. On the forehead of this face. They're going to have to paint. So I'm just very lightly layering on Celestia Gray over these raised details on the witch staff. I'm actually going to need some more Celestia Gray in my palette. Autofocus, come on. Get a little bit brighter in here, I think. Alright, more Celestia Gray. Oh. Funny, wrong color. Ulthran Gray. Ulthran Gray is the color I want, not Celestia. I had them all on my palette and I forgot which color was which. Get some of this on there. And we're going to build up on that witch staff some more. Add some water. Water it down. Thin it out. Alright. Just going to build up the detail on this face. Trying not to get it in the recess area. Kind of aiming to get a nice coverage here. So I am going to just go over this with a blue wash. Just for that final, pass. Then I'll come back in. Get some more of these details. Alright, other side. I'm going to actually switch back to my Reaper Miniatures brush. Point's a little bit larger. I don't need to be as precise. Otherwise I'll be here all night. Get this face painted in. All the old witch staff. And there's also the spirit stone. On the forehead of this face. So I'll go over that with that lighter gold color, Liberator Gold. So this is going to be very similar to how I did the helmets on the new Terminators for Ultramarines. The white helmet. So I did Ulthran Gray, or maybe it was even Corax White. And then I did the Leviathan Blue. Not Leviathan Blue. Drakenhof Nightshade. Over that. And then kind of went back over with the blue to build up color again, and that worked out pretty well. Okay, so he's really coming together. Just going to continue on with this metal on the gold, and then to go around up to the eyes still, and then all the spirit stones. Those can go pretty quickly. I got some good blues in my palette for the spirit stone, so I get some reds on there for the red ones. Yeah, but it's coming along. Got some highlights on the straps I want to do yet. So he's not quite done yet, but he's getting there. Almost. He's getting there, that's for sure. Alright, so Leviathan Blue. Not Leviathan Blue. Drakenhof Nightshade. Leviathan Blue is a contrast paint. This is a shade. So I keep misspeaking. Apologies. Alright, so I'm going to come in. Focus. Alright, we're going to come in up here with the Nightshade. going to shade this whole thing. And the other side. Letting it get into all the details on that face, but not letting it pool too much. And then once that dries, I'm just going to do... Oh, that didn't stay in focus at all. Once that dries, I'm going to come back in and build up again with Ulthran Gray. That'll look quite nice. Alright, so now for the metal, the gold, I'm going to start adding some highlights with Liberator Gold. While we let that dry. So it's going to add some Liberator Gold. Just brighten this up a little bit. Because it is very orange at the moment. Add some more character to the gold there. We're going to get down here on these runes hanging. Just want to break apart that orange quite a bit, and that's already doing a lot, and I'm liking the way this is looking. Gold can be kind of tricky sometimes. Getting it to look a little bit more interesting than just gold. And we'll get up in here on the top and the side here. And also everywhere else we got some gold. Trying to edge highlight these rings going on his arms. Over here on his sword. Lighten that up a little bit. We got down here just a couple spot highlights here and there on his bling down here. He's got, yeah, that's looking really good. I'm liking that a lot. Okay, so now I think this Leviathan blue is dried, so I'm gonna come back in there with the Ulthran Gray and just kind of do a little bit of layering. Bring back some of that detail. While leaving that blue in the recess. Just to bring this back up and make it pop a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. It's looking good. Okay. Next, I'm going to do the eyes of Eldrad, along with some spirit stones. So I'm going to bring out Mephiston Red. Mephiston Red. And then Evil Sun Scarlet. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of Abaddon Black, mixing some paints over here. I'm going to mix Abaddon Black with Mephiston Red, just to create a darker red mixture. So we got like dark red, red, and then light red. Alright, so the red spirit stones are going to be as such. I'll start with just plain old Mephiston Red and layer a base color. So the one on the staff is definitely going to be red. The ones on his helmet are also going to be red. Trying to leave that metal trim around the stone. Gonna get the spirit stone on the forehead. His face on his staff, also red. Okay. And then red spirit stone here on his strap. And then everything else is going to be blue spirit stone. So I will also get his eyes red while I'm at it. I'm going to need a small brush for that. And I'm just going to do those with Mephiston Red as well. And very carefully get those eyes. Right. For the blue spirit stones, I'm going to use Thunderhawk Blue. And go lighter from there. The brush likes to paint the spirit stones just the way it like wraps around the stone. It really makes it a lot easier to paint than you think, while also leaving the metal border very nice. And we'll get the Spirit Stone on the sword. The Thunderhawk Blue. You know, these are almost like a... I'm thinking I have to bring in some more vibrant blues for the next color on these blue stones, just to make them kind of stand out more. So kind of blending in with some other things that I've painted similar colors. Maybe Thunderhawk Blue wasn't the right choice, but I'll make it work by adding in some other colors into the mixture. Spirit stones everywhere. One on his back. Bunch hanging from his arm. And some more hanging from his staff. Wow, he must have like... There must be like a dozen spirit stones. Definitely a lot going on here. I don't know if this is supposed to be a spirit stone on the sword, but I'm gonna make it one. Alright. I apologize, he keeps going out of focus. And okay, so I'm gonna take that red-black mixture from my red spirit stones. And just really darken up most of the stone. Especially towards the top. And okay, and then for the blue, I'm going to grab a nice vibrant blue like Cantor blue. A nice deep rich blue color. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna also mix in a little bit of black. Just to darken up that blue, make it almost like a midnight blue, but it's very vibrant, so it's gonna be perfect for these spirit stones. Gonna get that very thin down as well, so it's almost like a dark glaze wash consistency. And then I'm gonna go over all of these spirit stones that are blue. And darken it up mostly from the top. For all these blue stones. Yeah, painting spirit stones is kind of a chore sometimes. Especially on these models, I have so many of them. Thought wax seals were bad. Spirit stones could be even worse. Alright, so we got the dark blue on all those spirit stones. And now I'm going to grab a very light blue. Something vibrant. Calgar blue, I think. Mix that on my palette here. I'm going to pull in some of this rust gray into the Calgar blue just to kind of dim it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Then I'm going to grab a smaller pointed brush. I'm going to see how this looks on some of these blue stones towards the bottom. Some more water in this mixture. This is looking good for a light pass on the blue stones towards the bottom here. Just add some more color in there. So the goal is it's dark to light. Bottom up down here and these stones on the sword. Okay. And then lastly, the red stone. I'm going to use Wild or Evil Sun Scarlet, just for a nice, quick, vibrant red towards the bottom. Make those pop just a little bit more. All right, now the last thing for spirit stones is that little light reflection. So I'm just gonna go over that with white scar. With this very tiny brush. So where it's dark towards the top, just a little white dot. Little white light reflection dot. Get this one. This forehead needs to be a little bit bigger. There we go. For the optical illusion. Optical illusion. Just dot all these spirit stones real quick. It's coming to life. Got these ones on his witch staff I need to get real quick. These spirit stones will be done. Alright, spirit stones are done. We are on the home stretch, folks. His eyes. Could use a little bit of cleaning up, so I'm going to use Null oil for that. Actually, scratch that. Terraborn Crimson. Just going to grab my junky shade brush and darken those red eyes up a little bit with this crimson shade. Alright, that's done. And then I'm going to do a little highlight on the leather straps. For that, I think just Baneblade Brown will do the job. Or maybe even Tallarand Sand. Maybe I'll do Tallarand Sand. No, that's too yellow. I'm going to do Baneblade Brown. Come on, Inaudible. Use this fine tip brush for that as well. Send that down. I'm just gonna grab the edge. A little bit of highlight to the leather there. Boom. Alright. Just gonna touch up this wraithbone on this leather pouch real quick. There we go. What else? What else needs to be done? Maybe a edge highlight down the side of the sash. That, I think, would be Tallarand Sand. Tallarand Sand and Wraithbone. Mix 50-50. Gives like a very light yellowy kind of tan color. Get a nice mixture of that. See how that looks. Being careful not to ruin my rune work here. I just want a little something here on the edge. The way it's folding, it gives us a nice, beautiful, hard edge. It's just asking for an edge highlight. There, something real subtle there. Probably can't even see it on camera, but I can see it. Alright, yeah, I mean, this is looking really good. I think we need some lighter gray highlights. And for that, we're going to do Administratum Gray. Very careful, though. Very subtle. Don't want to overdo these. And this is going to be on his black cloak at the most extreme of the the folds increases. So for example, starting at the top of his helmet, this line here, just going to add some of that hard edge definition. See, I was going to go this light initially, but with the rest of the model not painted, I wasn't sure it would be too light. But now that everything else is painted in, this seems appropriate. Some of these really sharp edges I'm just gonna lightly touch with Administratum Gray. Really make them pop. And over here, witch staff, just a couple highlights here. Shoulder blades. Get his hands there. Get this shoulder guard. A little sloppy there. My bad. Highlight his fingers a little bit. Hilt of the sword just a little bit. And there's a couple spots down here in the robe I want to get. Some of these very sharp folds I think could benefit from a little pop. Get a little bit more down in here. Yeah, I'm liking that. Alright, so on the back side here, something similar. Emphasize his armor underneath the robe, and I'm just going to grab some of these more sharper folds in the cloak where the light would be really catching. I don't want to overdo it. Just grabbing the most extreme highlights here. There we go. And I think it's all coming together. I think Eldrad himself is done. We just have the base to do, which I think I can power through really quickly, and we can we can finish this guy. Well, I say that, and then I should at least do Seraphim Sepia on his staff. That's something I did not do. But that can be done in just a second. There. Alright, now Eldrad himself is done. And we just got the base to do. So I'll put him back here, and we'll do the base real quick. Steel Legion Drab, I think. No. Baneblade Brown, I think. No. Yes. Baneblade Brown. This is going to take a coat or two. Get all the stone Baneblade Brown. So I'm going to do Baneblade Brown, and then I'm going to lighten it up a little bit with some highlights on the stone. The center pattern on the stone, I think I'll do like a Mechanicus Standard Gray. And then got a little bit of greenery on drawing here. But yeah, this will come together pretty quickly. Yeah, Baneblade Brown doesn't cover very well. Surprise, surprise. It's alright, 2 thin coats ought to do it. I'm impressed, sir. Pat yourself on the back. Time or two. A time or two. Good job, Sam. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm not done yet, but I will finish the base. I think I can power through that real quick. And then he'll be completely done and nice clean cutoff for the next week, Tuesday, when I will be painting something else. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. We still have to finish this one. So, yeah. This Baneblade Brown is taking a while to dry. Time for the hairdryer. One thin coat, done. Here comes thin coat number 2. I'm going to be painting really fast now because the end is in sight, and I'm really excited, and I can't wait to have this guy done. As far as next week, I have I have some Tyranids, I have some Eldar, I have some Necrons. I have some Space Marines. There is a preference on what you would like me to paint next on stream. Let me know, and I'll see if I can make that happen. Otherwise, I will paint whatever I think I'm feeling and I have ready to go. I got plenty of stuff to paint, so any factions in particular, of those listed, I'll try to make that happen. Blue jar time. Also, no regular video this week. Just with Adepticon coming up, haven't had time to shoot something and edit, so no video. But I think I am planning on bringing my cameras to Adepticon. Maybe I'll record some stuff. Maybe do like a vlog style video after that, or not. We'll see how it turns out and what I end up actually shooting. But yes, Adepticon is this week. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun. Should be interesting, staying there for a few days. Yeah, I will get another video out when I can. The goal is every other week, but that's not always obtainable. This is not a full-time gig, unfortunately. I vote for whatever you're feeling and have ready to go. Alright, well, that will be what I paint. We'll see what it is. I probably, I have no idea. Maybe Necrons, maybe Tyranids. It's probably gonna be my Biovore or Pyrovore. They made it so you can build the Biovore and the Pyrovore with the same kit without having to magnetize. As long as you don't glue on one piece, it snaps on and off pretty easily. I feel like Games Workshop is throwing us a bone there. I'm not complaining, so I didn't want to magnetize it. But now I can run both of them if I want. Well, I have the option to run either, I should say. So the Pyrovore is like a flame-throwing bug, and the Biovore is the one that shoots out the little spore mines. So that'll be fun. That'll be interesting. We'll have to discuss the reveals from Adepticon next week while you paint. Yes. Among other things. All the cool, fun stuff. I'm looking forward to the reveals. Alright, Egrax, Earthshade. All around. Even in the dirt. Especially in this design. Here we go. Let this dry a little bit, and then I'll hit it with the hairdryer. I'm hoping they have something for Sisters, since our Codex is coming up this summer. Yes! I also am hoping something for Sisters. Also, the Gene Sealer Cult Codex is coming this summer. I would love to see a new unit for them. Their array of units is on the small side. They only have like a dozen or so. Maybe another character or another unit entirely would be awesome to see. Also, I would like to see some more Eldar. There's a few characters that need a refresh still, among other things. I think the Warp Spiders turned 30? No, 20? I think they turned 20 a couple weeks ago, which is kind of silly when you think about it. Kind of crazy. Alright, I'm going to take Karak Stone. And I am going to take a dry brush. Try to get on the dirt here as well as this rock. Just go in little circles. All around the base here, all over that stone. Looking good, and then I'm going to do the same, but with Wraithbone. Palette here, hopefully it's not too watery. I'm just going to focus on the edges of the stone here. That Wraithbone. There we go. And now I'm going to paint those roots green. Wash off my dry brush real quick. We're going to do Castilian green. I think the Eldar are due for a large update soon. Rather that they would be getting a large update. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if in 11th edition 40k they make the Eldar the feature army, you know, like Necrons or Tyranids that get their big range refresh. Although maybe not though, because they've been updating a bunch of stuff already. Like the Guardians got updated. They're going through the Aspect Warriors, it seems like. They're probably milking Kill Team for that. Yeah, I don't know who the next big bad is going to be. Maybe Chaos. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Just gonna throw some green down here. These roots growing all over these rocks, stones. Nice earthy colors in there. And then I'm gonna actually bust out the melon oil for the stone carving. A little too kind of washed out, I think. Just gonna take the shade brush and go over this with Nuln Oil just to really darken up that cool Eldar rune pattern. Wow, amazing what a simple little wash can do. Looks good. My Eldar base rims are what color are they? Are they Baneblade brown? I think they're Baneblade brown. They're not off to be painted. But yes, my base rims are not black on my Eldar. And I am not sorry. Nice earthy tone. These miniature model holder things are great, except for when you want to paint the edge of the base. That's where you should grab some putty. Do this. I still have something to hold it with. We'll just, for Earthly Eldar, that's right. And we gotta do our second coat. I wonder if I should add a little tuft. My Eldar bases, I've been adding little tufts of greenery to them. Guess we'll see what it looks like once I mount Eldrad on here. See if we get benefit from some tufts. I keep staring at Eldrad. It looks so darn good. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way he's turned out. Very tedious. Very tedious. But, you know, just working through one detail at a time and going through the process. Let's get a close-up shot at old Eldrad. While I paint the base. You do good work, Sam. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to. I'm gonna quickly also just get a drop of matte varnish, the shade brush. I'm gonna go over the sash here. Once that dries, that decal will no longer shine. And one thing too I could do a step further after I varnish him is I could go over the all the soul stones with like the technical ard coat and make them glossy. Give them a nice glossy finish. That would be cool. That would look neat. Just doing my final pass on the base rim here. I'm gonna dry this off, and then we can pop them on the base, and then it'll be done. Yes, that poor decal. Almost dry. The hairdryer is like my favorite non-hobby tool. Alright, Eldrad, are you ready? Hopefully Aha! See? I didn't use too much super glue this time. I was able to remove them without cutting open my finger. So I think he just kind of sits on here like so. Yeah. Alright, so I will super glue his feet. The end is nigh. End of the stream, at least. (1001), (1002), (1003), (1004), (1005), (1006). There we go. Eldrad, Ulthran, in the flesh, completed. We'll do the spin around. Yeah, I don't think he needs any tufts. There's just that base is just nothing but Eldar ruins, and there's not really much room for any. Yeah, I'm happy with this. This is nice. All right, so that is Eldrad, painted, finished up from last week. I'll be back next week, Tuesday, at 7 o'clock Central Time, after Adepticon. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of interesting things to share and talk about after that. We get back from there, and I'll be painting something new. I have not decided yet. Probably some Space Marines, maybe Tyranids, I don't know. We'll see what I'm feeling, because that is the consensus. So, with that, I will leave us tonight. It is already 9:30. Wow. 2.5 hours, but you know, when the end is in sight, sometimes you gotta just power through and finish up. Yes. You too, have a great night, have a great week. I will enjoy Adepticon. I'm really looking forward to it. So, alrighty. Catch you later.